Good morning, Wellspring.
Good morning.
Everybody stand up. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
us.
us.
Happy birthday to us. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
dear
Wellspring.
Wellspring.
Happy birthday to us.
us.
Yahoo! 22 years and still going. Thank you. You may be seated now. My name is Judy Bethman, and I'm a part of your Sunday, November 10th, 2024 service team. We have some opportunities, as Shirley calls them. Early birds meet Sunday morning at 9:30 via Zoom. The link is in the weekly email and on the website. Our speaker for today is our beloved Dr. Edward. Next week, Reverend Kamatara, and then Dr. Edward finishes out the end of the month. This Wednesday, Lunch Bunch will meet at Cracker Barrel at 11:30. Now, they have a thing at Cracker Barrel where you can sign a thing and you might get a walk-on role at one of the movies, Christmas movies at, what's the channel? No. As an actor on a Christmas movie. So I want to grab about 1,000 of those and see if I can get it. Okay, so don't forget Lunch Bunch Wednesday. And the Board of Trustees meets Wednesday night via Zoom. As with every board meeting, we invite members of the congregation to attend as we do the work of our beloved Wellspring. If interested, please get the coordinates from Edward. Thursday evening group continues to meet at 7 o'clock here in the social hall or on Zoom. They are doing various and sundry topics from the Gaia TV channel. And so get coordinates from Cleona or Edward. The full moon ceremony will be Friday, November 15th at Dr. Juan Robles' house. Gathering at sunset, which I looked up is around 5:06 p.m. Our November outing is next Saturday, November 16th, the New Horizons Band concert at 3 o'clock, Atkinson Recital Hall. Admission is free, and we're going to go to dinner at the Cattle Baron afterwards. So the title is From Bach to Rock. All right. Happy birthday to us. We have a potluck after service today to celebrate. We are in our 22nd year. Yahoo. The labyrinth is very slowly coming along. Thank you for those who've contributed rocks. You know they need to be about 6 inches to line the pathway. We will collect them in the pergola until the time to construct the labyrinth. This sure is a rocky road. And lastly, our prayer team remains ready to serve and support you. You may submit a request via our webpage or give it to Edward. Our prayer team meets virtually every Tuesday afternoon at 4:15 to pray with you. You may consider sitting quietly in your space during that time. We know we are one in spirit, and thank goodness the energy of prayer knows no limits. Dear Great Spirit, Mother, Father, God, I had a tough time breathing this week. Not physically, but emotionally. So, with that, I beseech you, please breathe on me, breath of God. Fill me with life anew, that I might love what thou dost love and do what thou dost do. Breathe on me, breath of God, until my heart is pure, until with thee I will one will to do and to endure. Breathe on me, breath of God, till I am wholly thine, till all this earthly part of me glows with thy fire divine. Breathe on me, breath of God, so shall I never die, but live with thee the perfect life of thine eternity. We are so blessed that we know that these truths are the truth, and so it is. All right. Please stand and let's sing for us, Love Binds Us All, heart to heart to heart. Here we stand, united. Here we stand, hand in hand. Sisters and brothers in this land and others, one prayer we raise in song. Love binds us all, heart to heart to heart. Love binds us all in song. One prayer is all, one prayer for all the world. We are one, love binds us all. Now we raise our voices and our hearts tell us one heart, all nations, all people in spirit, one prayer we raise in song. Love binds us all, heart to heart to heart. Love binds us all in song. One prayer is all, one prayer for all the world. We are one, love binds us all. Thank you, and you may be seated. Let us read together our vision, mission, and affirmation. Our vision: to elevate spiritual consciousness in our world. Our mission: to support individual spiritual quests through celebration, study, counsel, loving fellowship, and service. Our affirmation: divine love, infinite goodness, and eternal peace are the law of my life. There is nothing in me that keeps spirit from expressing its purity through me. The paths of my consciousness are open. All that flows out from me is goodness, joy, truth, love, abundance. Therefore, nothing less than these return to me. And so it is. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce Melody Burns.
It's wonderful to be here on Birthday Sunday to celebrate with you. I was just telling Dr. Edward that even though I am now more of an ecumenical, I travel church to church to church, Bob and I were founding members here, so I'm real happy to be celebrating with you today. This song is an African American spiritual, and I invite you to sing along. I'm going to sing the first verse, very easy to pick up. Only one word changes each verse. I'm gonna sing so I'm gonna sing so God can use me anytime, yes, anywhere. Live. I'm gonna live so God can use me anytime, yes, anywhere. I'm gonna live so God can use me anytime, yes, anywhere. Now I'll give you the right chords so it's easier to sing along. I'm gonna pray so God can use me anytime, yes, anywhere. I'm gonna pray so God can use me anytime, yes, anywhere. Listen, I'm gonna listen so God can use me anytime, yes, anywhere. I'm gonna listen so God can use me anytime, yes, anywhere.
Thank you, Melody. It's always a delight to have you. You're welcome. The reading this morning, Edward's going to talk about faith and growing your faith. So, the dictionary defines faith as complete trust or confidence in something or someone. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Faith is a mental attitude embodied to such a degree that the mind can no longer deny it. We all have this mental attitude of faith about many things without realizing it. Example, you have faith that the invisible law of gravity will work when you get out of bed. You don't have to pray about it, or will it be? You just get out of bed and stand up, right? You get in the shower and turn on the water expecting to control the temperature, adjust the flow to your liking, and keep a steady stream going until you're complete. When you get out of your vehicle in the morning, you have faith that your car will start right up and allow you to get to your destination on time. I've never left my vehicle thinking, gosh, I sure hope my car starts today. It just starts like it always does. I'm so grateful. In terms of breathing, you have faith that you will breathe. It is autonomic. It is a given. You don't have to think in, out, in, out. When talking about growing faith in Ernest Holmes, he uses the illusion of a garden. Guard well this garden of your mind. It is God's garden of your soul. It is your garden of Eden, wherein may grow your fondest desires and hopes, blossoming into fulfillment. It may be necessary to cultivate your garden, to uproot the weeds and straighten out the rows, planting new seeds, new ideas, broader visions and deeper realizations of life. New aspirations must be bedded there, fertilized with the fervor, hope, the conviction, faith, the beauty of wholeness and the quietness of peace. Watch your garden carefully. Faith, the beauty of wholeness and quietness of peace. Guarded patiently, waiting for a new harvest, for you shall reap what you have sown. Go often into your garden. Sitting under the tree of life in cool, quiet communion, you will find fresh inspiration. God will go forth anew into creation through you. Watch carefully then this garden of your soul. Plant there only seeds of happiness, of joy, of peace, and of love. This all came from chapter 5 in the book, This Thing Called You. Okay, well, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our speaker today, Dr. Edward Burlbaw.
Thank you, Judy. Well, I never like to start a talk with apologies, but I will. As I worked on this, it sort of evolved away from faith a little bit, but it's still, who knew, right? I don't, yeah, but there is a nuance of faith in the midst of all of this. So the title of my talk is Your Road to Now. So we know today's a special day for Wellspring. You know, each Sunday, second Sunday in November, we celebrate the founding of Wellspring. And as Judy said, 22 years ago was the first November that Wellspring was in existence. And last year I spent a considerable amount of time speaking about how Wellspring was then 21 years old and what coming of age, coming of 21 really meant. And, I briefly talked about some of the adventures that Wellspring had had during the last 21 years. But today I want to focus on you or us. The other day I was just in conversation with somebody and they mentioned to me that they had been looking over some of their old books and they had seen, some notations in the margins and so forth. And they said, I realize in retrospect that everything over my life has brought me to Wellspring. And as Judy says, it kind of gives you those spiritual goosebumps. And it really didn't have anything to do with me per se. But in other words, she was saying her path had brought her to Wellspring. So I was somewhat speechless just to realize that she felt that strongly about what Wellspring represented to her. And I'll talk a little bit about that, a little more about that later. As for me, as some of you may have known, my path to standing here today, that started in the 1970s when I was part of a spiritual commune. But then in the 1980s, late 80s, I sort of stepped away and I considered it maybe taking a break from my active spiritual seeking. And I've come to sort of change some nuances in how I think about that time. But anyway, it wasn't until the early 2000s that I kind of got back into it. Now, I had lived in the same neighborhood as Reverend Sam lived. As a matter of fact, I guess I'd been living there since the mid to late 1990s. My kids rode bicycles in his driveway. He had kind of a circular driveway, as you know, and the house across the street also had a kind of half loop of a driveway. Anyway, kids would ride around the two driveways. It made it very easy to just do that across the street and so forth. And, he lived on a bit of the end of the road type of thing, so there wasn't a lot of traffic, and so it was somewhat safe. But somewhere along the way, and we went to the symphony together, and we usually, several members of the neighborhood would get together for a dinner before we went to the symphony and so forth. And during the course of all that, someone mentioned that Sam had started a church. And it was just one of those in passing types of things. As oh, Sam has a church, whatever. But anyway, one Sunday, my partner and I at the time thought we should check out this church that Sam had started. And, it was Wellspring, and Wellspring was meeting at the Ark over on Griggs, if you recall, as we called church in a box, with the Coke machine. Yeah, in the back. And the Mindens would bring the library or the bookstore every Sunday, and we would load and unload the music system, and we had one computer, and we just recorded audio with that and so forth. But anyway, so that Sunday I showed up, and of course I was welcomed immediately, and having some familiarity with Sam and Nancy from the neighborhood, that helped as well. But I think everybody else was welcoming as well. What I want to say is that, and I have to admit this, although many of you have admitted it as well, but I was moved to tears. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But right now, I'll move on to a lighter note. So what came to me, and this is probably why I ended up sort of veering away from focusing on faith, I thought of the Beatles song. And the title of the song, of course, is The Long and Winding Road. And the first verse of that song is, "The long and winding road that leads to your door will never disappear. I've seen that road before. It always leads me here, leads me to your door." Now, the speculation is that he wrote this during a time of turmoil, both professionally and relationally, and that he had bought this farm in Scotland, I believe it was, and this long and winding road led up to his farm, and he would go up there for some relief from all the other stresses. So, my slant on this is that your door, or my door, is simply the opening to your spiritual being. And the road is the path you've always been on in this life, and some say in previous lives. And it says the road that leads to your door will never disappear. No matter what you're doing or how you think you aren't on your path, it will never disappear. That path is always there. So my 20-year or so hiatus from actively pursuing a spiritual path was still my path. Now sometimes we have to have a little faith that we really are on a path and that is unfolding properly for us. But no matter what, it always leads to that door of enlightenment. And I also say, even if you think you're not doing enough, you're doing enough. And you can't avoid it because it's your destiny. And just in Early Birds today, someone brought up a statement from The Way of Mastery. It's somewhat like this: you are never in the wrong place and the wrong time. Can you accept that? Maybe that does take a little faith to accept that. I've said this before, but we look back 10, 20 years to an event that at the time seemed pretty horrible. But now we might look back and we say, man, that was the best thing that ever happened. what I learned from it, how I grew from it. It was the best thing that ever happened. How about we know or we feel or we believe that everything that's happening right now is the very best thing for us right now? It takes a little trust. And we don't have to wait another 20 years to find that out. We can find out by looking for the good in it. If we take this sense of, or an approach of curiosity and wonder about what's going on, I wonder what the good in this is. I wonder what I'm learning here. You notice I didn't use, I wonder what I'm supposed to learn here. It's wonder what I'm learning here. It's just a very optimistic way of looking at exactly what's going on. So your road right now is the very best that you can manifest for your spiritual growth, or that you can attract for your spiritual growth. And I've used the analogy before of looking through, or light shining through a window glass, which on it, window pane, has smudges, dust, dirt clods, raindrops, so forth. Well, as we look through that, the world is clouded and distorted and obstructed by all the stuff on the window pane. Wouldn't everything look more beautiful and clearer if the windows were clean? I think we can agree it would be. So it's our destiny to clean our windows through which we observe the world and others. So sort of like with respect to others, have you ever had the experience with someone where you thought, they seem to be a really nice person, but I just can't get over how much they look like that bully in grade school? That's the smudge on your window pane. That's not really them. But until you transform your negative experience in the past, your current relationship with that new person, if you choose to have one, will always be clouded by that impression from long ago. Do you really want to keep just a little bit of resentment or disgust or whatever words you want to use to identify that feeling or that experience for the rest of your life? Or would you rather transform it and free up the energy for more creative and loving thoughts? I'm begging the question and speaking to the choir here, right? So, again, redundant for what we believe, but everything that is attracted into your experience is part of your spiritual path. Even though it seems long and winding, it's all good. It's all cleaning the window to our spirit and allowing our light to shine more brightly. Every time you clean a little bit of it, you're welcomed with more love and joy from your spiritual support team and from yourself. And that's with a capital Y, yourself. You are so beloved. And I think this is what brought me to tears that Sunday. Tears of joy at an opening of myself. Yes, the love and the joy from everyone else, but yet it was what was going on in here. So I just acknowledge that. So last Sunday, Sandy Scott spoke about the metaphysical chart of Ernest Holmes. And if you recall, she said there was a circle with 3 levels, and the top level was the seed, and the middle level was the soil, and the lower level was the plant. Right? So you are the seed. The fertile ground in the middle is your spiritual community, your support system. And the blooming plant is you in unfoldment. This purpose of your spiritual community is to nurture you, to support you, and encourage you on your own particular path. That's what Wellspring does. However, it is not the leadership of Wellspring that makes Wellspring who it is, at least not 100%. Sure, it's their responsibility to keep the lights on and the lawn mowed and so forth, but the lifeblood of any community is its membership. The individuals of Wellspring are what makes it the loving place it is today. And it's not about any one individual, but it is dependent on all individuals. Each and every one of us is important to the whole, and without us, the whole is not complete. And that a statement applies to more than just Wellspring, of course. It's also true about the universe. The universe is not complete without each and every one of us right here. So in conclusion, while you may think your path and life experience is nothing special, it made you who you are today. And there is a gift in there somewhere. It's a gift to yourself or to someone else. And you never know the lives you might touch just by being the very best you truly are. A gift to yourself or to someone else. My expression is that Wellspring is a gift I give to myself. And the same goes for all of you. And so it is. Well, we always try to follow the talk with a prayer. So let's just take a moment. That trust in a higher being or a higher intelligence is what we call faith. It's also a faith in ourselves. We know that we are a piece and a part of that divine, that great expression of spirit, that oneness, that all that is, the universe plus. We are a piece and a part of that. And as a piece and a part of that, we have all the love and the joy, the energy and the power of that same. We can use that to change our lives. We can use that to experience more of that love and that joy and that peace. And we can be those radiant beings that are expressing that to all around us. So as we acknowledge this energy that's here in this room and it's flowing through each and every one of us, we also know that that energy is a healing energy. So let us just take a moment. Because we have friends and family members. We have a nation. And what each of these folks, communities, countries, may be going through something that looks less than perfection. As we stand here with a faith of the knowingness that all is in perfect divine right order, we hold that first for ourselves. We accept that. And we know it's true for them as well. It's true for all others in all places and all times. So we just relax and know that our place is not to manufacture or to do anything. Our place is to be that love and that peace and that joy. We know that as we are that, we lift ourselves and we lift each other. We lift the entire universe. We know that's how it works. We are grateful for this knowing. We are grateful for that lifting, that healing. We know that's all we have to do, that the rest is in the hands of Spirit. Spirit is in charge. So we give thanks. We let it go and say, so it is. And now you're up again.
Thank you, Edward. Powerful message. And lots of gratitude for this community. Absolutely. I have to say, while I have the pulpit, that though I am not continuously involved in this community anymore, always in my prayers, and I affirm the amazing work that this community continues to do, that I know you are doing. As often happens, what I was going to sing, I'm not going to sing. After I spoke with Edward earlier, like, okay, this is better. This was written by Evelyn Atwater Cummins, and the music by Herbert Dressler. This came out of the 70s. We know not where the road will lead. We follow day by day, or where it ends, I only know. We walk on God's highway. Yes, we walk on God's highway. I know not if the way is long, and no one else can say, but rough or smooth, uphill or down, we walk on God's highway. Yes, we walk on God's highway. And some we love have reached the end, and some with us may stay, their faith and hope still guiding us. We walk on God's highway. The way is truth, the way is love. For light and strength I pray, and through the life of heart and mind, we walk on God's highway. Yes, we walk on God's highway. The countless hosts led on before, we must not fear nor stray. With them the pilgrims of the faith, we walk on God's highway. Through light and dark the road leads on, till dawn
the endless day, when we shall know why in this life we walk on God's highway. Yes, we walk on God's highway. Thank you.
Well, you already did that. Thank you. Thank you, Melody. That was just the perfect coda to the message. You know, Spirit works in many ways, and we don't understand it, but it's just awesome. Just awesome. Okay, now it's time for our offering. And if Judy Westfall will bring forth the basket for our tithes and gifts. Thank you, Judy. We receive these tithes and gifts knowing that we are part of the one flow. These gifts do not stay here, but travel out into the universe, doing good works, providing happiness and comfort. For this we give great thanks, and so it is. Okay, now it's my pleasure to call Edward to the forefront here, and we will do our new member initiation.
All right. I don't know why I'm grabbing this. It's off. So today we have the joyous occasion to formally welcome 3 new members to the Wellspring spiritual community. I will say that one of the 3 is not here, so if you're counting, you'll notice very quickly. What does it mean to be a member? It is a commitment to spiritual growth in an atmosphere of freedom to grow spiritually at your own pace and to evolve your own working philosophy of ideas and beliefs. It is a commitment to building a life of joy, ease, and love in an environment where we recognize and embrace the importance of spiritual community in supporting and empowering your spiritual journey. What naturally follows is the growth of our spiritual community. It is an affirmation of alignment with the philosophy and teachings of New Thought. It is an open statement in one's belief that their spiritual center is of great value personally. It is having a sense of ownership in Wellspring and expressing that ownership through sharing of time, talents, and treasures. So would our new members, Reverend Juan, Jean Geringer, please come up. And come up on the stage because we just want you here. Yes, come on over here. You are front and center.
Don't be afraid of us.
Am I afraid of you, Judy?
Okay. So this is both a joyous and contemplative occasion. By choosing to become a member of Wellspring, you are making a commitment to grow spiritually and to focus this growth in fulfilling your dreams. For this is a place that believes that the spiritual power we seek already lives within us, eager to be discovered and expressed. Do you declare your commitment to grow spiritually and express this growth in fulfilling your dreams? If so, say, I do. You each responded to the call of the Spirit, whose desire it is to express its greatness and magnificence through you and to grow and expand your spiritual community. You are living proof that when Spirit has a desire, its creation automatically responds. You are the living, breathing demonstration of God in action as Wellspring in Las Cruces. And as Ernest Holmes says, all is God or Spirit, and God is all there is. As you believe, so it is done unto you. Our duty in life is to love and live fully. And when you change your thinking, you change your life. By becoming a member, you are committing yourself to this universal truth teaching. Do you declare your commitment to the study and application of this universal truth teaching as you come to understand it? Say, I do. By becoming a member, you are helping to make a difference in the world, and you are joining with like-minded people all over the world who share a common vision. You are joining people of all faiths that embody the universal truths shared across all religions, ancient and new. Wellspring is a place where people grow, and we do that by teaching and practicing the universal spiritual principles captured in Science of Mind and Others, and we live our vision, which is to elevate spiritual consciousness in our world. Do you support this vision? Our desire is to live life fully and consciously through inspiration, education, spiritual community, and service. We do this through 5 main spiritual practices: receptive prayer or meditation, affirmative prayer, which we call spiritual mind treatment, spiritual study, service, and conscious giving. Do you support and hold in your heart the desire to live life fully this way? We are a spirit-centered community of light, love, and laughter that honors and celebrates the many paths to God. We celebrate the diversity of all people, of all religions, and walk of life. Do you support the celebration of life in this way? I do. And now we would like each of you to sign our membership book and then return up here because we have a little bit more to do. And the membership book is over here. I guess not. Okay. I have 2 lefties today. Yeah, 2 new members are lefties. Yeah. You now have the rights and responsibility of voting members of this spiritual community. We encourage you to attend our business meetings to cast your vote and our visioning sessions to contribute to the overall vision and direction of Wellspring. Now it's your turn. Please rise as you are able. Do you agree to be these new members' spiritual family, to welcome them and support them in this journey to which they have just committed? Say, I do. I do. In recognition of the commitment you have made to your spiritual growth and to the growth of Wellspring, it is our joy to welcome you to our spiritual family.
It's our joy to be here.
Thank you. Yes, good.
I think the last time we had new members was before COVID. So it's been a long while. How fun. Thank you so much. All right, there are a number of folks who have contributed to the production of the service, and we are grateful, so grateful for their service. And we thank you for joining today us in Zoomland. Is there Zoomland at all? Oh, okay. And here in the sanctuary. And stay around for the Zoom meeting after the service to chit-chat, or join us in the social hall for our celebratory birthday potluck. Please stand as you are able and read the benediction, and followed by our congregational song. Spirit in the midst of us is mighty. Joy, peace, and eternal life are our true nature, and flow through us into the world, and so it is.